There we go, yeah. Jesus Christ, dude.
Sound check.
Ow. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I gotta switch my nipple.
Are we gonna do that intro?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9?
8.
8 of the Mudpit.
8 or 9.
I'm here.
It's one of the episodes.
Stop,
Welcome
stop
to the
talking.
next episode.
I'm trying to talk. I'm just kidding. We're here with our good old friend Frankie.
Hi.
And then we're over here with our good friend Zachy Poo. And then Joshy Woo Woo. And I just touched him with my foot so he feels it. But how y'all feeling?
Like a failure.
Damn.
I'm honestly feeling pretty good.
That's good. High five. Winter team. Y'all fucking suck. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, dude. We all fucking suck.
I
feel
gotta,
that.
like, at work, I work with, like, 40 to 60-year-olds, and, like, every day, they're like, man, it cannot end soon enough. And they're not talking about the jobs. They're like...
like, this life shit is too long.
Yeah, they're like...
How do you just set yourself up to have that bad of a time?
I know, and, like, I'm in there every day, and, like, they're like, oh, shit, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. And I'm looking at them like, dude, so am I, but don't bum me out about it.
Dude, just tell them to start a podcast. Maybe listen.
Oh, man.
I know you live in a retirement home. Just go up to, like, the oldest guy there who fucking shakes in his seat. He's like, how you feeling?
It's good.
I can't feel.
I can't feel my feet.
Dude, I have a terrible fear of getting old, honestly.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
I've been
can just
thinking
throw that out there. I don't want to get old at all.
I'm in the same boat.
I've been thinking about
What do you
adulthood lately.
I want to die in like some exciting way, like on a skydiving accident in like my late 30s,
I want to.
just in my prime, just taken out.
I want to be politically assassinated. That
That would be sick.
Die. Yeah.
To actually become like the head of a movement and become assassinated by the government.
Yeah,
And be a
that's
martyr
exactly-
and
that's
a
about-
symbol of hope for the rest of humanity.
How about
That's the
assassinate you?
hardest.
You
way to do that.
assassinate me? Yeah, guys. Josh is gonna politically assassinate me, and
That'll be both of our legacies.
step one,
Iceberg.
Josh assassinates me. Step 2, cash out.
Dude, why don't we, like... Dude, if I
I
know...
do like a YouTube political assassination challenge.
Yeah.
Dude, last to get assassinated wins $10,000. Collab with Mr.
Hashtag
Beast.
shoot your local senator.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, I was just thinking about it. Like, if I ran for president, bro, I'd be alive for 2 weeks. Because I'd be like, listen, everybody's getting molested. And then just,
I know.
my head would fly off. And I'd get...
Yep.
And actually, no. With the way the United States government is going right now, you might actually get a bonus.
Oh, dude, I hope so. Dude, I think that all these people in office are reptiles. We should
Yeah.
just make it really cold for like 2 seasons.
I used to
Dude,
think
that
that the
would-
schizophrenic
that'd make
people
them better.
were just that schizophrenic, but I think they were onto something.
Right, like how many people, like schizophrenic people, gotta like have corroborated stories with each other? Where you're like,
Yeah.
what
You're like, okay.
realm are you guys in? Like, I gotta figure some shit
Dude,
out.
they just found the frog, dude. They sniffed it and they were like, dude, I see all these fucking reptile people
What do
walking
they
around.
call it? The persuasion machine or the
Oh, boobs? That persuades a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that's some serious.
No,
shit.
there's like actually like schizophrenic people. They have these weird machinations of like machines that direct them. I
Huh?
forget what they're called.
It's probably Elon Musk
Impression
whispering.
machine, something along the lines of that. Real interesting stuff if you ever.
I'm not
Look up
schizophrenic,
schizophrenia.
so I'm not like big in the schizophrenia community. You know?
Well, you shouldn't. There's literally no reason you shouldn't be.
Dude, we should just all hang out with a bunch of schizo guys and just see what
I know
happens.
schizophrenic.
Yeah,
maybe.
dude.
Let's hang out with him. Let's see what he wants to say. I want to talk to him. Like, hey man, what's going on
Yo,
in your
like,
head?
actually, if you do have schizophrenia, I feel terrible for you because that's just
That would
not
suck,
fun
dude, yeah.
at all.
Cause like,
Yeah, as much as I poke jokes at that, like mental
Yeah.
illness is.
It's a tough thing
It sucks.
to get through. It's like, that's one of those like things that you just get. It's like an uphill battle for your entire life.
yeah, cause like, imagine like having just a bad trip all the time.
Yeah,
like
dude,
just,
exactly. That's like,
That's just not fun.
Yeah.
I know, man. That must really be horrible. Cause like, I'm just imagine trying to talk to somebody, bro, and then their face falls off. And you're like, wait, what?
yeah, like.
I don't know what happens to real schizophrenics. I feel like they did hear shit. But like,
If you're schizophrenic and you want to be on our podcast,
We'll interview
more
you,
than
dude.
welcome.
Yeah, we'll make it.
and like we'll take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna just poke at you. Like I want to know.
We're just goofy guys, but honestly, we're just trying to uncover the lizards.
Dude, I'm just gonna start grabbing people's necks and like pulling it up a little bit, and if something pops up green, I'm like, ah, shit, time to fight.
No, just
Like Men in Black, dude. I'll just start hitting people in the neck, bro.
what do lizards like?
Just slap him with some ice, dude.
Like,
Hit him with the ice pack.
Dude,
and they'll
I'm
freeze
scared.
up.
Dude, what if all girls are reptilians? Because they always be cold.
just you want to come back to my place? I got like a nice like flat
got a
rock
nice-
that's been sitting in the sun all
I
day.
got a heat lamp.
Yeah, we got a heat lamp. I got
I got a bag of crickets.
Bag of crickets.
Come on over.
I know you're just at the bar and talking to
Throw
a
on
girl.
some
And she
Animal
starts
Planet,
sweating. She's like,
lay
you
on a
got
rock."
crickets? What kind of crickets you got?
Dude, that's not even a reptile.
Just
bro.
show her those lollipops with like little caterpillars in them.
Bro, that's how you get a Zimbabwean chick. They eat crickets, right? Maybe they're all just reptiles, bro. I don't fucking know. I've never been out. I gotta see what the land's like. They got a lot of rocks. Ideally.
So this podcast is about failures.
Dude, clearly I'm fucking failing to make a lot of good points. But, you know, shit happens.
Well, I think we're having fun. Well, like, so failure. That is the topic of the podcast.
I do want to talk about Zimbabwean bitches a little bit more later.
I failed to pick up a
Dude, I know. I mean, I got a girlfriend right now, and I feel like at times I kind of suck as a boyfriend. You know?
Why do you say that?
I don't know, man. I just feel like a lot of times you like have like these expectations for yourself that you're gonna be like a fucking like you're gonna fly in with these fucking big wings and just scoop her up and just like this is the world, and then you just
And
realize
then the way
like,
that translates is like, hey, how are you today?
yeah, it's like how's your day going? I got you a nugget. You know?
That's funny that you bring the first failure you bring up is like relationship wise, because for myself, my like biggest failure has been with my relationship. Like not how it is now. How it is now, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
But the girl that I'm with, my girlfriend Sylvia, we've known each other since high school, and like one of the things that like I still feel really bad about is she wanted me to lose my virginity to her like at the same time.
Yeah.
And then me being a little hoe, like I didn't.
You can't tame your dick, dude. That shit's a wild animal.
I should have though. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it was a failure. That was like the biggest failure on my end. I still think about it.
Yeah, I'm still a virgin, and she is too, and I can't do that to her. That's just disrespectful. I can't fuck her. Like we gotta be married, dude. Because like she has to have some kind of like compensation. She's gotta get half my shit if she's gonna let my fat fucking body on top
You're
of her.
just gonna give her the disrespectful schmeat?
No, it's not even that. It's just like I wouldn't like if I was a girl, dude. I would not want to fuck me because I'm a fat fucking animal. I got body hair. I fucking look old, but I got a baby face. It's fucked up. How can I do that?
You
to
got
her?
the dad bod, bro.
I know,
They love it.
I got a
love that.
dad bod, but a baby face. This shit does not equal up.
No,
No, that
that's
means you're
like
gonna age nice.
yeah. That
I
they
hope
love
so.
that.
But,
That's
like,
even better.
The worst
I
part
think
is I
I
have
was
like.
just four men talking about what women want.
I know. Yeah.
but like-
Yeah.
but look,
If you're a
dude,
woman
we're
and you'd love to
experts.
come on the podcast,
we should
fuck,
have a
maybe
woman
next
there.
time.
We should. No, but like, you know. Also, another thing I've like always failed at. Speaking of being a fat fucking animal, I suck at self discipline. Like I'm absolutely ass. Like every time I say like I always like build up these things in my head of, like a plan of like, but I always fail to execute them. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work out today, and then I wake up at fucking 12 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna sit in bed and watch YouTube, and then I'm like,
Dude, I feel that.
but on the bright side, I started playing UFC 3, and I was like, you know what? Why am I making this fat bitch all strong when I'm a fat bitch and I can be strong? So I signed up for the UFC gym, and I've been going.
That's so sweet.
amazing.
Like you told me that, and I was like, that's
See, look at
awesome.
that. Success
Yeah.
through video games.
Yeah.
Take that 50 to 60-year-old congressman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why they don't want us to play video games, because I've been playing Halo. I'm going to fuck them reptilian bitches up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. We're preparing.
Yeah, what are you
We're
going to do
ready.
when I run up with a fucking stick and I just hit you in the forehead, bitch?
I think video games got me into exercise as well. Just because, like, yeah, you'd see all these different things on the video game, like even doing like Minecraft or whatever, and then you're in real life.
Man,
you're
I
like,
want to punch a tree.
Yeah, you're like, dude, if I wanted to like build something in the forest, I couldn't. Like, because when I was younger, I was really overweight, and then that was just something I thought about.
Dude, I was overweight when I was younger, and I was like, I could go off the grid easy. That's
Dude.
what I was
Oh,
thinking.
No, Josh was... Oh, go ahead.
I want to point out real quick that video games have been a great form of abstinence throughout the years, and abstaining from becoming just a disgusting mouth breather who eats Doritos and stays in home all day playing League of Legends, because I took one look at that and said no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I will never become that.
Like, okay, like, what would you rather do? Would you rather fuck a
Full
bitch
offense if you play
or play
League of Legends.
Overwatch? 'Cause they got titties. You know what I mean?
No, it's like
Play Overwatch.
Yeah. Because what you're gonna do? You're gonna fucking sit there with this fucking girl you don't even like. She fucking smells kind of funny. You smell kind of funny, and then you just like, you're like, why am I doing this? What are we doing here? I'm gonna play Overwatch and shoot some nerds, and I'm gonna fucking go beat my dick to Belle Delphine.
Dude, that's my favorite thing about beating people in video games is like knowing that I'm physically capable.
Oh, dude, yeah. Because I talk a lot of shit on Xbox, and I'm like, what if this guy like actually pulls up to my house, and I'm like, I'm sitting here with my fucking side titty sweaty. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to kill him with my bare hands.
I used to not be very popular, and video games got me into like friends. Because all like the popular kids invited me to play games with them because I was so good at them. Of course, they would sit there and like trash me the whole time, but I was good at it, and that's how I formed like a first community, like an initial like friend group. And then over time, they started getting out of video games, and I stayed in. I started becoming like that kind of neckbeard guy. It was just always playing video games, and yeah, it was tough, like because video games aren't that like they're fun, but they're not that fun. Like,
I think they're great.
They are great, but like there was a certain point where like I was sitting there playing zombies. I'm like, okay, I just died on round 36. Let's start it up again, and I'd spend another 2 hours getting to round 36, and I'm like, all right, it's getting boring. Oh shit, Minecraft. Let's just go to Minecraft, and they sit there another couple hours, just do Minecraft, and then like, yeah, it just seemed like it was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, jock.
No, dude, actually, like, that, I kind of relate, because, like, my first, like, group of friends, we kind of bonded over video games, too. I only had 2 friends in elementary school, and I, like, had a falling out with one of them, because I let him borrow one of my Xbox controllers, and he never gave it back, and I cried on the playground.
That's a sin.
Yeah.
That is a sin.
I cried for a long time, and then...
Sorry, dude, I lost it.
No, he's, like, he just didn't want to give it back to me, and I was
He's like, no, dude, I like this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. So then he, like, eventually moved out of, like, out of Vallejo, and he moved to Benicia, and then I ended up moving there later, and I talked to him, and he was like this little quiet kid. I was like, do you even remember me? Do you still got my shit?
See, I was the opposite. Like, I was really into video games, but not until like I started putting my interest in other stuff. This is when I started getting an actual friend group. Because what got me to meet you was our mutual friend Nick.
Yeah.
And the only reason I met him was because I was outside with my skateboard.
The only reason I know you is because of these two.
Yeah. Yeah, but skating, I guess, is where I probably made like my skating, and work was like where I met like my friends.
I love skating, dude.
Yeah,
We should go skating. Yeah,
I have Josh's skateboard in my car right now.
Do you?
I
don't
got
have
2
mine.
skateboards at home. Right, like
I refuse to touch a skateboard.
Why, you don't want to fucking
Die.
breathe out of your mouth?
Dude, I'm fine with dying. It's just I've had past failures.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
it was
Skateboarding
enough
is
for me.
hard, dude.
It was
It's
good for me.
I remember the first time I ever bombed a hill, dude. I felt like the biggest victory. Of
I
my life.
know.
still can't drop in. I
Oh,
cannot
no,
drop in to
no.
save my life,
What
dude.
I-
I used to be able to,
Like,
but
picture-
like if you put me on top of a half pipe right now, I'll fucking
You could
die.
put me on top of a hill.
Picture this. I was on top of a hill. Hit like 30 miles an hour,
Oh,
flew off,
yeah.
busted my knee. Just insane road rash. And
Yeah.
I was like, never again.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember one time when I was in like 7th grade, I was riding a scooter down a hill, and I had like my hand in the middle of the 2 bars, and I had my phone in the other recording it. And I fell off. I fucking flew off that shit and skidded all the way down the hill. I fucked up both knees, my elbow, and I smacked my face on the ground. And when I went to the school the next day, they're like, "What happened to you?" And I just lied. I just told them I got hit by a FedEx truck. And they
You
believed
talk
me.
about failures. You could have invented GoPro at that moment.
Yeah, dude.
You should
But
have looked at it and been like, if only this camera was attached to my head.
I don't know. I lied a lot when I was a kid.
I lied a lot when I was a
And
kid.
I try to like, and as a man now, or I'm trying to become a man, even though I'm like still kind of young. Like, I don't want to lie to people anymore. I kind of want to be just as upfront as possible, just for like my own sanity.
That's the best way to do
because
it.
like, I don't want to sit here and like, oh, I feel bad, because I lied to this temp the other night because she was pissing me off so much, because she was like telling me like, I had both headphones in and I was listening to a podcast and I was like cooking food or whatever, and she walked up to me and she made me take both my shits out, and she was like, last time I was here, I ate cheesecake, so tonight I'm gonna eat carrot cake. I'm like, you really made me stop what I was doing so you can tell me this bullshit. And then I had to, like, escort her out at the end of the night. And then I was like, she was telling me some dumb shit. And I was like, damn, I do not give a fuck. So I was trying to think of something to say to shut her up. But it didn't work. Because then I was like, I'm trying to leave the state because I had to pull a gun on somebody. Which is not true. But I just told her that. And then it was just... and then I just felt bad. And I, like, walked back and, like, I was like, damn. And I went up to my coworkers, like, I just told this lady I pulled a gun on somebody. And I feel really bad, but...
Did she believe you? Like,
I hope so. Amazing. And I also told my boss to never bring her back, dude. She's fucking stupid.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was like a recent...
No, because, like, when I was younger, my moral compass was so fucked up.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I would lie, and I would think about it, I was like, that was a good-ass lie.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
on
I
me.
got away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I got that shit.
Lying got me...
Dude, I was the exact opposite. Like, I was more pristine as a child than I am now.
Yeah?
But I'm trying to turn that back around.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about failures.
Dude, I remember one time I lied and got in trouble. Like, because I lied myself into trouble, which was, like, the stupidest shit you could ever do. Because that was, like, the
you
few...
lie yourself into
Yeah.
a corner.
Yeah, because what happened was, like, this fucking kid that used to always, like, bully me as a kid, like, he went up behind me in class and just choked the fuck out of me and just threw me on the ground. Just out of nowhere. I was like, damn, I just got fucked
Dude,
up.
I did that to a kid for spoiling Transformers.
But I wasn't even doing
shit.
anything, though. So then this fucking guy, he just fucked me up. And then, you're fucked up, dude. How would you...
Dude, this was the first Transformers movie. I didn't know that they were horrible.
Megan Fox's belly button.
Dude,
Oh.
Don't
oh
just-
my
I was
God.
ready. I was ready to go. And the kid's like, oh, at the end of the movie, Starscream survives and he's flying away from the planet. And I went and found him later. And I just grabbed him by the neck and pulled him over the chair and choked him out on the ground.
So what was that about being pristine again?
I didn't lie about it.
You didn't lie.
Yeah, that's true. No, but like, anyway, so after that
They're like,
shit
did you
happened-
do this? I was like, absolutely. You spoiled
Absolutely.
Transformers.
That's horrible. No, but the good thing that came out of that was like this girl I had a crush on forever. She held my hand and brought me to the teacher, and she snitched on him for me because I wasn't saying dick. And then
So what'd you lie about?
I wasn't getting to
sorry.
that. So then we had to talk to the principal, Mr. fucking Sampson, cunt, and then he was like,
Wow.
he was like, hey Sean, why did you do that? And I was like, he's like, oh, he called my mom a bitch. I've never said bitch in my life. Oh, and at that point in my life, I was in like 4th grade. And then I was like, no, I didn't say anything. And I said, eventually I called his mom a weasel because it wasn't even a bad word. And then I was like, and then he just got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't even do anything. So I lied to just say whatever, and then I got in trouble for it. So I was like, you know what?
So you could have got out of the situation by telling the truth, but you ended up lying.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
what
I
you're telling
did.
me?
Well,
I feel
at
like I've
first,
done that
at
before,
first I
yeah.
was telling the truth, but he didn't believe me because that other fucker was lying.
I used to get beat up a lot, like
Yeah.
like physically beat up, and even my stepbrother, I would tell my mom, like parents, like, hey, he's like kicking my ass, he's like threatening me with a knife, he's not a cool dude,
Yeah.
and they're like, it's just brotherly love, like stop being like a little baby. And then he would like burn stuff. He would burn stuff in the garage that he shouldn't have burned, like a mattress or something. And
Wait, at your house?
Amazing.
yeah,
And
and
it's just like,
garage.
yeah,
In the garage.
yeah, and I would say
just
like
massive amounts of CO2.
not like a lot. The garage would be open, and you would more like singe it with something.
oh, I thought you were like lighting that whole bitch off.
No,
Like,
he-
he's just sitting
no.
in the garage just watching it.
Dumping it with gasoline
Yeah.
and just
And your mom's like, it's fine. It's just kid shit.
It's just shit. Yeah,
Boys
exactly.
be boys.
Boy, yeah, boys be boys.
Yeah, and I was like, never believed. So eventually, I just joined his side. I was like, I'll stop being like annoying, and I'll just. He was like, go get the like him and his friends would like throw shit over the fence, and over the fence was like a ditch. So I'd have to go over the fence into the ditch, get the ball, and come back and get it. And like, I just joined him. I was like, no, they don't believe me anyway. I'll just like, and I started lying for him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember this one kid that I used to live up the street with. He committed animal abuse like 90 times. And to my little fucked up mind, it was so funny. Because I was like 10, and he was like, want to play a game? And I was like, yeah. So he picked up his cat and kicked his cat over the fence.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And it was like, it's only funny because it's so fucked up. Like, I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
believe it, but like, I was like, I cannot believe this fucker just said, let's play kick the cat. And just booted this little fucker over the fence.
Jesus.
I still see it like to this day, and I
Just kicks his cat. Just like
Yeah.
punts his cat.
no, he picked up his cat and punted it like a football, and I was like, this is the most fucked up kid I've ever met.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and then I still hung out with him for like 2 years, And then
those are the ones that grow up to be serial killers.
Well,
oh yeah, he's doing good now.
my
Oh,
dad
well, thank
used to tell me
goodness.
about kids that he grew up with, like kids that would animal abuse. There was a kid, or like two kids, like they were twins. They got their cat. They dug a hole in the ground, buried the cat with the head sticking out, and then ran it over with a lawnmower.
That is
Yeah.
not even
What
funny.
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
so like
fucking horrible.
people used to be insane. Like for myself, I used to lie, but I didn't do anything like that.
Dude, that's why you need video
insane.
games. Like, okay, Congress people want to like, oh, video games are bad. Well, would you rather me run over a cat with a lawnmower, or would you rather me beat up a hooker in Grand Theft Auto? It's like, what do you want?
So we had this.
Oh my
we had
God.
this. Let me explain the situation first. My family took in this homeless girl, and like she was just telling us stories about like her past, like animals, and like she was saying that like she hung one of her dogs by accident. I don't know how that happens, but she said she hung one of the dogs by accident. She tried to dry her cat in the dryer. Then she tried to dry her cat in the dryer. Then it killed it. They got another cat. She went to wash it. Then she tried to dry it in the microwave.
That's not even funny. That's horrible,
Dude,
That's so fucking.
Yeah, because that's not like malice. That's like
That's just retardation. Dude.
yeah, how she explained how she hung the dog was like
What, she put like the leash on the ceiling fan and thought that if she turned it on, it would walk in
was like-
circles.
The dog just like flying around like.
she said, I'm trying to remember because she said it was on a tree. And I was like, how do you even get a leash on the tree?
Mhm.
And like she said the dog jumped over a branch and she had like the leash.
Uh-huh.
And so when it jumped over the branch, I don't even know how high this tree was.
Well, dogs can jump pretty high in her defense.
Okay. Well, like this,
But I'm not buying it still.
it jumped over the branch and she had the leash, and when it got tight,
It snapped, yeah.
it snapped its neck when
Aw.
when it got taut.
Aw,
And she said that she let go of the leash, it just fell.
that's so.
And I was
I think
like-
she was in collaboration with the kid that would punt cats, honestly.
Probably, dude.
Oh,
Like punching the cat over the
Don't fuck
the
with
tree.
cats. It's probably that fucking mook. No, dude. I remember when I was younger, dude. My older brother was into Animal Planet, and we had like these two stray cats that would just come nearby. And he was like, "I can show you if it's a girl or a boy." And he lifted up his tail, and I thought he was looking at the color of their asshole. So I started telling people, I'm like, "Yeah, if a cat has a pink asshole, it's a girl." But that's not true. I didn't know what genitalia was. So I told
used to
everybody.
know.
What a failure.
Yeah. So in third grade, I just told everybody to look at their cats' assholes.
Well, my first.
I hope I
failure-
don't get like in trouble with PETA, but they kill cats.
Dude,
all
we're
the
getting in
time.
trouble with everyone. I said shoot a senator. Like,
Michelle Lujan.
But if we're being completely honest, that's a lot more tame than abusing animals.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, dude, like in school, were you guys good at school? Because I fucking.
No, I
Okay,
sucked at school.
Here's this. I was good at school, hated it. Hated
Yeah,
every second of it.
I was really smart. I hated homework.
Yeah.
Like that was very
I
specific.
thought homework
what I
was
hated.
stupid.
Mine.
It's like, oh, great, you're just going to send me home to fry my brain with homework so I
Mm-hmm.
can come back exhausted the next day. Thanks.
My attendance was awful. Like I was smart enough to probably get passed with like B's or A's, but like I just didn't show up to school,
Mhm.
and like I just never did the makeup work, and like it got to the point where like I had an 8% in my history class.
Damn.
And like
That's
she
tough.
she came to me
That's
and
not-
she's like, "This is your final grade," and she slides it to me, and it was 8%.
Dude, I remember one time, bro, in 7th grade, I got a 2% on my math test, and I just started laughing. And they're like, and then the teacher was like, "What's so funny?" I'm like, "I got a 2%," and everybody else was like, "What?" And I was like, "Look, I got 2."
Yeah, the whole class was like, they used to post the grades, and like, so we all went up, and I literally I have dyslexia, so when I'm looking at like a list,
Uh-huh.
I have to like use my finger. So like I put my finger on my student ID, and I went across, and it was 8%, and like the 3 people that were behind me, and they looked at me and were like, "You have 8% in the class?"
Dude, that's not even like, with attendance, you get a 30. Like, you know what I mean?
If you want to get under like 40%, you have to try.
Yeah.
You have to try.
my whole school has been like in like elementary school I was way ahead of the class. Like I was reading much faster, I was doing all this stuff, and then my parents got divorced and I was moved to a different elementary school, and there it was like They didn't learn shit. Like, I was like 4th or 5th grade. It was mostly just like being awake in class, and I had a hard time with that. I had a hard time, like, and
the one dad
yeah,
like mentally retired.
Yeah, literally, I would fall asleep in class, and like I would get waking up, or like we'd have that reading time.
Yeah,
and then that eventually translated to like middle school, where you actually had to start like learning stuff, and I would get the concepts, I would learn them, but then we would be sent home with just like stacks of like worksheets, and I would never do the worksheets. So I got the concept completely down.
Worksheets.
Yeah, and then I would get these worksheets where I'm like, why is there 50 questions of like the same thing? And I get it's supposed to be like to solidify it in your head, but I don't think it really works that well for retention. I think it's
and I
like,
don't think that that's necessarily very good skill building either.
right.
Like it's just not.
Right.
it's kind of just like a drill.
It's not comprehension.
Yeah. It's a check. It's not comprehension.
Right.
And that's the problem with the American school system. Is
Yeah.
it's a check, not a comprehensive.
Well, we
analysis.
teach memory, not
Yeah.
retention.
So yeah, in elementary school and into middle school, I was way ahead of the class. Like always. Like I was reading at an 11th grade level in like elementary school.
Did you do homework?
No. Well, I tried not to. My parents were very strict about it, so I ended up doing homework more often than not. But it was a painful and arduous experience for everyone involved. Like, it was literally like last minute, I'm sitting at the table crying because I don't want to do my homework, and they're like, we can't go to sleep until you do your homework.
And then you're like, hey, can you come help me with this? And they come and they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't remember math. I don't want to help you.
But
And I was like, yeah, I know you don't want to help me because
the
I don't
whole-
want to do it.
the horrible part was I got put in the gifted class, and you know what the curriculum was in the gifted class?
What?
The lady was like, okay, this week we're going to be painting dog houses. And I was like, this is actually dumber than just the schoolwork that we were doing
Are you sure you
beforehand.
really get to class or like you're like, hey,
It
look,
was the gifted
Yeah.
class.
No,
And
the gifted class got to do activities. Like, they
Yeah.
got to do shit. And then all of my classes were just sitting in a class. Maybe, I think in 5th grade is when I did my first, like, anything, and that was planting something.
But
It
that was the
to
thing.
learn how to
I
plant
went to
something.
my parents and I was like, this is what we're doing in the gifted class. My parents were like, that's stupid. And I was like, I know,
Isn't
right?
that kinda
And
like-
so they went to the school and they had me pulled out of the gifted class because nothing was happening in there.
Isn't that
and I
kinda
immediately
like-
regretted
sorry.
it because I went back to doing normal schoolwork.
Right.
But-
Right, yeah.
kind of like most things, like the smarter people feel like they seemingly do less. Like if you think about it in like the manager sense, like just like hypothetically, like in like blueprint cookie cutter shit, the guys who are like stupid like me, we're doing all the stupid shit. Like we're cleaning toilets, we're fucking putting cans on shelves, and there's a fucking fat dude in the office sitting there with his dick in his hand, jacking off to this intern or whatever.
And
ABC
like
it up.
that's something that really pisses me off is this idea of like the label smart is like it's so far removed from what actual like intellect, and it's mostly like if you are truly smart, you're able to take the world around you and do something with it. If you can't do that, you're not that smart. You have to be taken care of. You're dependent on someone else. That's not intellect.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that schools get wrong is, like you said, it feels like the smart kids do less and everybody else does more. It's because we don't, we're approaching it from the wrong angle. What you should do is incentivize good behavior and getting a task done quickly instead of punishing the people who do it slower.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
just...
and we actively punish people who do it slower with No Child Left Behind. Because for me, I remember seeing a lot of people growing up, elementary school to high school, where they just clocked out. They just checked out. It was, they didn't get it. And instead of having the freedom to go work or to stay behind in a lower grade and get what they're trying to learn, they were pushed up ahead with me. So then I have to be in the same class with them. And it's like, it's hard for me because then I have to do all these, we spend like weeks just doing the worksheet after worksheet after worksheet of the same thing to get these people who aren't getting it to be at the same level as me. But then that gets to the point where I'm in a senior in high school and I'm reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein because we're so like, we just keep dragging it, lowering the expectations.
Like, can we...
Dude,
Go ahead.
if it was because of No Child Left Behind, bro, I graduated. If I didn't, I'd be in 4th grade right now.
Because of No Child Left Behind.
That's
It's
fine.
Because
You,
I
like-
dropped out.
Dude, nah, but like I'd be in like 4th grade right now. I'd be fucking driving in with a mustache and
We didn't
shit.
leave those kids behind.
I'm gonna sit here and get my dick sucked.
But okay, so let's say you were still in the 4th grade. You were at whatever intelligence
years
level.
old.
Yeah.
I'd probably be
Like if you, I don't think you're dumb, but if you categorize yourself as dumb and doing like dumb people work, you should have been allowed to do quote unquote dumb people work from the very beginning. Like from that point, you should have said, instead of the rest of this school and time wasted in most of it is like social, I think.
The biggest thing with me though is like I don't think I'm really that dumb, but it's fun to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same problem that I have with the rest of categories in my life. It's like I lack the self-discipline to like pay attention and actually put the work in to do so. Because I'm really not that dumb, I don't think. But I just don't when I was in school, I would always daydream about other shit. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to go play outside. And I'd, like, play this random shit in my head. And then I just would miss everything that the teacher said.
That's the thing. Schools are more about forcing you to fit a mold rather than playing to your strengths.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because if you were given the chance to, embrace whatever, like, your intellect, you can embrace your, smartness, and rather than calling yourself dumb, because if there was something that you didn't get, you could just stay on it a little bit longer.
Well, I would never have gotten past, like, 1st grade math. After we stopped counting with cookies, I just gave up. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing multiplication.
But it's also, like, most things that people do are on their own.
Yeah.
If you're forced to do it, you don't want to do it.
It's kind of like trying to pull a mule.
Yeah.
Like, if like the harder you pull, the more his fucking neck gets long. And he's like,
Yeah.
But that's just what you learn, You fucking try to pull a mule by his asshole or his fucking neck, whatever you want to do.
What color is that?
The mule's asshole?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like to look back there. I saw a horse shit from behind one time. It was fucking terrifying. It looked like a spoonful of like Cocoa Puffs, like just coming out. It's disgusting.
What?
I was walking behind the fucking horse, which you shouldn't do anyway because you'll get kicked in the head. But I was like 10 feet back and just lifted up the tail and just took a shit. Shout out to Corrales PD.
I know. I've seen horses taking shit, but like I never heard anybody describe it as
vividly as that as well.
A spoonful of Cocoa Puffs.
Dude, it's just what? It just happens.
Man.
I don't know, man. Life is crazy. Life will always be up to something.
Always be up to something.
But back on topic of failures, and since we're talking about school, my favorite era of me existing was like from 10th to 12th grade, because every year I took like double the fitness classes that were necessary, because I went to a small school. The electives were like computer maintenance, so I was just a computer nerd, and then I got jacked on the side. Like I spent my lunches in the computer lab just like literally like making music using like Reason, Ableton Live, all that stuff, and then like my elective classes were all fitness related. And the peak of my life was my 1st grade teacher coming up to me and saying, "You're buff." And I was like, "Oh,
wait, your 1st grade teacher?"
Whoa.
And it's all been downhill since there, because I'm not as buff as that anymore.
Yeah, dude. I remember like
It's like shit.
my sophomore year, dude, I was like
Dude.
pretty into fitness too. And then it always seemed to happen. Like I'd follow this pattern. I'd get into good shape and I get a hot bitch. Then she fuck up.
It's all downhill.
And then I just get fat. And then I get in shape again. Then I get a hot girl. Then blah, 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 blah. But I was in pretty good shape when I got with my girlfriend now. But then I just got fat because I'm a dumbass.
It's called relationship weight, bro.
Dude, no. This is like 60 pounds of relationship weight. I basically ate her whole body and put it on me.
Have you seen Nathan?
Oh my god. Shout out to Nathan, bro. No, but you know what I've also been kind of thinking about? Do you guys, maybe this is just me, and like maybe I'm just not like solidified in my own personality, but like if I watch like a certain like person, like if I listen to a podcast for too long, or if I watch like a bunch of interviews with like a certain celebrity, I kind of pick up on their mannerisms, and I kind of like try to emulate them, and maybe like I don't know why that is, but like I feel like it's kind of like imposter syndrome, whatever that means. You know what I mean? So
well, honestly, like me growing up, I didn't have. So first, when I was really young, like, the single digits, my parents got divorced when I was 6. So from age 1 to 6, most of my time was spent watching Tom and Jerry, or like listening to like Christian CDs. And then after
Shout
they
out
got
to Christian
divorced,
CDs.
yeah, shout out to Christian CDs. After that was more just separation from like people because, you know, getting divorced is different households, a lot of time away from like free time. And then in school, you're getting moved schools, so I never really like solidified friends. And so most of my personality has been from, you know, fictitious characters, like movies that I've seen or certain like books that I've read or just songs that I've heard where I'm like, that's some cool shit to say. And then eventually it got to the point where like I started just thinking on my own like what I would think would be cool. And
dude, I think
came out so bad.
Dude, every time we get into like a serious topic, one of us burps or throws a fucking minion. It's like, or like just acting like my pants on fire or
I
something.
wanted it to come out quiet, but instead it just strained.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, I used to burp so fucking loud on command, like I almost threw up sometimes. It was so fun. And like, I remember also... dude, I can't do it right now. I know I'll throw up. I threw up brushing my teeth the other day. Because I was like, I hit the middle of my tongue with the toothbrush, just threw up instantly. I was like, that's hot. So, and then I did it again today, and I dry heaved, but I didn't eat anything, so I felt good. And I was like, damn, I can never suck dick.
Sorry, I'm gonna go back to that personality thing. I think there was a point, like in high school, where I realized that my personality and who I thought I was in my head didn't quite line up with who I was in the real world.
Exactly.
So what I decided to do was just say like, wow, I don't know anything about myself. I'm just gonna like completely do a 180 on how I view myself. So freshman year of high school, I had never really done sports. Like I'd done sports when I was young, but like a fat kid. I was like the last one on. It was my dad was paying to have me in there, so I had to play. But you know, getting into high school freshman year, I tried out for football, or maybe it was sophomore year. It was freshman or sophomore year. I tried out for football, and from that point, it wasn't so much that I like gained the personality of like a jock, but what I saw was...
But you hate video games now.
No, I love video games. It's just like they're not as fun as religious fanatics think. Like video game religion.
Yeah.
People who are religious about video games.
People play Overlord.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, the League of Legends persons was like, every day I wake up, I play around.
Slime G Fuel.
Yeah, Slime G Fuel.
Play League of Legends until I fall asleep.
Were you good at sports? Cause
no.
Okay, dude. I think when I finally realized that I suck at most things was when I joined the wrestling team, and like I had long hair and I looked like a girl, and I went 0-63. I lost every fucking match, and they still kept
That's
putting me on.
dedication that you stayed in.
Dude, I know, but
63
it's because I was like too scared. Like
I went like 0-2, and then I was like, I'm tired.
Dude, I just kept getting fucking flung around. I got suplexed a bunch of times. I had to wrestle a girl, like my first wrestling match ever. I wrestled her 4 other times that season. One time I squeezed her titty, she grabbed me by my hair and cheese grated me, fucked me up. And then I had to wrestle her again a couple months later, and she eventually became the state champ. But
I don't know what cheese grating is.
Oh, it's like when you grab someone's fucking head and you slam it on the mat and just like rub it back and forth. She fucked me up. I think it was also me just kind of like trying to get away, but she just kept pushing my face down. And then I lost. Of course. I only beat one other kid, and it's because he had less dedication than me. He was a noodle, I was a noodle. It looked like if you got like 2 fucking Jello cups and threw them at each other. And then I just eventually ended up on top.
I was like
the best moment of my
mega
life.
fat kid, and then I the one game I did like to play was baseball. That was the one that I was like, this is fun, I enjoy it. But I sucked at it. I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't hit the ball for shit. So my dad put me into private lessons, and I did private lessons for like a year about batting, and like the information was there. I retained the information, but my body couldn't put it into practice yet. I was still sucked. And then later on down the line, I got very, very good at baseball.
Nice. What were you going to say, Josh?
No, but you were talking about that personality thing and how you weren't... who you were in your head wasn't the same person as you were in real life. I came to that probably like a year ago.
Yeah.
I feel that.
It's recent
and,
for me as well.
Because I was just like... I used to think, I'm like, oh man, dude, fucking... My brother's a trainer. I'm fucking healthy too. Nah, I'm not. and
Yeah, the dissociation between your self image and the image that everyone else sees you as is crazy.
Yeah, it's like
And when you realize that those don't match up, you're like, oh wait.
Do you remember for a while? Oh, I was always be like, because I'm a fucking athlete.
oh, dude, that was funny because I'm an athlete.
You did not.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was it was a couple years ago, huh? Like
Yeah,
when
it was like a year or two ago.
Oh, I must
And
have missed all that.
it, like I was just like, for like they'll say something and I'll be like, because I'm a fucking athlete.
Yeah.
But like I'm over here 220 pounds. Out
220 pounds of athlete.
athlete.
No, Josh, you lost so much weight though.
Yeah,
dude.
you look good
It's
now,
like
man.
I have a new hypothesis.
If we have a scale, I think Josh is the most attractive person on the podcast.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, Josh is a
Yeah.
handsome man. It's like probably
And
like
he's a virgin. Like,
Yeah.
watch out,
I
ladies.
think
hit him up.
I think Zach is a good-looking white dude though.
Yeah, yeah. It really what
I
it
get,
is like
automatically 10 points to attractiveness
Yeah.
because I'm light skinned.
yeah. Well, you're a light skinned black dude with curly hair, and like you're in
built.
shape, and a virgin,
Like,
which
you
is
can-
like
I bet you Josh can like kick a hole through a Chevy right now, dude.
Probably not.
You don't think?
No,
I think he
I'm
could
probably-
actually kick the Chevy away from him.
Dude, if someone tried to hit Josh with a car right now, he would just put his fucking fist down on the floor and like just let like the car hit his head and the car would explode.
armor lock.
Yeah, dude, like that shit from Halo Reach, boy. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like it's kind of weird because like I think I'm way fatter than I think I am, but I don't know. I think I'm pretty fat, but like people tell me I'm not.
Everybody thinks they're fat.
Well,
Like,
I am. Like actually, statistically, I'm
Arnold
I'm
Schwarzenegger
definitely
jiggled
obese.
a little bit and he thought he was fat.
Huh?
Arnold Schwarzenegger jiggled a little bit and he thought he was fat.
Well, that's just because he has
Dude,
so much muscle that he can't. His body physically cannot hold anymore. It's like get this shit off of me. There's like a steroids, fucking like a layer of that shit, just not putting it to his body. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist.
I've wrapped around. So I started off overweight, and then I went from overweight to dieting. So I first started with the vegan diet just because I saw a documentary where it was like, we challenge you to 30 days of a vegan diet. And I was like, that doesn't seem that bad. So from the transition of middle school to freshman year, I did that. I did veganism for the whole thing. Well, I think I only did it for like a month. And it helped. It lost a lot of weight. And then throughout high school, when I started getting the like athletic side,
I'm sorry, please continue. I just
yeah.
really want to share this when you're done.
yeah, you definitely can. I'll make it quick. So all throughout high school, I got into exercising. I got into like just trying to make myself like capable, and I lost a lot of weight, mostly because I just had it on me, and I didn't eat that much. I really didn't eat that much, but I just kept working, and I lost a lot. I lost a lot fast, so fast that my parents were like, "Are you like purging? Like, are you
on
throwing?"
drugs?
Yeah, they were like, "Is something up?" And I was like, "No, I'm just." I wasn't eating, and like I was working out all the time, and now I kind of forget like when I'm hungry. Like I don't really feel it when I'm hungry. I just feel like sick, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm sick. And then I'll go and work out, and I'm like, oh wait, I haven't eaten all day, and it's actually started to lead to some like overtraining. And it's just funny how like no matter what step of the process you're at, there's always gonna be like a wall that you gotta.
What were you gonna say?
I had another experience similar to yours actually, where you saw a documentary about vegan diets. I saw Super Size Me in my fitness class, and I took that as a personal attack. I was like, whoa, no. I work out every day. There's no way that if I eat McDonald's for 30 days straight, I'll be fat like that. and I just ate like crap.
Do you guys know
the
that-
offset was I was working out like for 2.5 hours every day. So like of course that's not
Dude,
destroy
do you guys know that guy Jorge Masvidal, the fucking
please don't eat
UFC fighter?
McDonald's every day.
No,
Just
because
don't.
If you work out as much, dude, it's like that's a lot of energy.
Dude.
The issue is when you eat when you eat that much food
Yeah.
and don't do anything.
dude, Jorge Masvidal, the guy who has the record for the fastest UFC knockout. Did you see that one when he knocked out Ben Askren with the flying knee in like 5 seconds?
Yeah, with the knee.
So he like used to eat McDonald's every day when he was training in the UFC, and then
Insanity.
eventually, like he was
That's like steroids.
Let me get one McDouble. Yeah, he's cool. I'm like a big fan of his now, but he used to eat
I love
McDonald's all the
McDonald's,
time.
dude. I love going to the gym and like getting so much McDonald's.
Dude, the first day after I went to the UFC gym, I know what the first place I went to was fucking Five Guys.
I feel that.
How? And I wonder why I'm fat. I'm like, oh yeah, I worked out, burned 500 calories, and we eat 3,000 fucking French fries.
Nah. French fries clocking in at like 400 calories a piece.
Yeah, dude, it's literally just like a fucking Crisco. Nah, but you know, it's life, man. You gotta work hard and eat hard.
All right, so to come full circle, we can go around. What is like your biggest failure in life?
Literally every day I wake up, I'm like, damn, I should be somewhere where, because I've done a lot of things in my life, like I've tried a lot of things, but I've never followed through with them all the way. Like, I used to work in Netflix, and I just, things came about, and I just never went back because of the car thing. Why are you hugging me right now? This is very sweet.
You just need it.
No, yeah, probably. No, but, like, I often, like, think about, like, when I was 16, I thought that I would be famous by now. You know what I mean? But the lack of follow-through kind of... I'm, like, my own worst enemy in a lot of ways. Because... yeah, I was just doing background and shit like that, but, like, I feel like I could have done more. Like, I could have had my own script ready. What are you doing? God damn it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get deep.
I know. You just asked him, like, a very personal question. You guys are like...
yeah, no, but, like, because I started writing my first script when I was 17, and it's been almost 5 years, and I'm not done with it yet. So, like...
let's write a script, all four of us. Like,
I'm down. I have, like, 200 pages of it written, but it's so old and so shitty. Also... I lost the hard drive with all my movies on it.
Well, so like, here's also something is, I just remember that stuff that you have in the past when you were writing and you were younger. That was you growing. Mm-hmm. So all that stuff, that's training. All that writing, that's training. Yeah. So if you go back and you look at it, it's probably not going to be as good as you remember. Right. So,
but that's the point.
But that's the point. Exactly. So when you go back to it now, just use your own thoughts now. Like, let it flow. Get into that flow state of just letting ideas come to you.
And you talk about being your own worst enemy. People are very critical of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I have never met somebody who will judge me as harshly as myself.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit.
And it's like, because I'm going into real estate school right now, and I told myself, like I was saying earlier, like, I formulated a plan and I'd never follow through with it. I started school in March, and I thought I'd be done by now because I'd do one lesson a day. Then it didn't happen. Because I wasn't really accounting that I had to work and all this shit, and, like, it's school. Like, we were just talking about how I'm not that good at that shit because I just stopped paying attention. So... also, it's online, and I took an online class in college, and I just never came because I don't know how to use a computer that good. And they're like, how do you log in? So I just was like, fuck it. I just never went back.
Oh my god.
I kept getting emails on my phone. I'm like, this is the only way I can communicate with this bitch. And then she's like, yeah, you're getting dropped. And I was like,
Jeremiah, you wanna?
We'll go this way.
Like my boobs on the table.
So similar to Angelo, my biggest problem is just not being able to follow through with anything that I've ever started. I was good at school, but I hated it. And because I hated it, I grew a resentment for it, and I decided, I'm not going to go to college. I don't need to go to college. I'll just work my way to the top. And I think that in and of itself was probably the biggest lie and mistake that I told myself. Because if I had just applied myself a little bit more, I could have at least had a decent paying job in a decent field, so much so that picking up something like this would have been easy. Like, just tremendously easier. I would have been more financially ready to do an undertaking like this. I'm talking about the podcast.
Right,
yeah. It was just a lack of commitment to anything because I spent I don't want to say best years, but like my formative years waiting for an opportunity to be handed to me rather than going out and getting it.
Exactly. Dude, everybody here just shook their head.
I think that's just our immaturity coming through, thinking that something's going to be handed to us. Because I'm not going to...
protagonist syndrome.
I'm not going to repeat what you guys said, but that is one of my issues, is that I cannot apply myself. I think that's just a human thing that's in all of us. It's because we get excited, then once that feeling leaves, we're just like kind of like...
dude, sorry.
Thanks, modern society, for blowing our dopamine receptors.
But my biggest failure was school itself. My biggest regret is dropping out of school. Like, I have some of my family's kids, they'll be like, I hear them talking, but Josh dropped out. I'm like, I'll slap the shit out of you, kid. Don't you ever say that.
Yeah.
Because now, because you said you hated school, I fucking hated school when I was in it. Now that I dropped out and I'm aware of the importance, when I get my GED, 100% I'm going to college. Like, got tired. It's like, it's like the grass is always greener type thing. But.
For myself, I know what you mean by that, because I hated school. I wanted to drop out so badly, but I knew that just the high school degree itself was pretty important to get. And I stuck through it, but I think my biggest failure currently is I have a so, you know, I talk about my past a lot, and I don't, you know, people have not been the kindest, so I don't really like people that much. Like, even you guys, I like you guys, but it's like,
wait a minute,
I love you guys a lot, but you guys are like the best friends I've ever had, like the closest friends I've ever had.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm 20 now, so I met you guys like, what, like 2 years ago? Maybe. Well, I met you guys 3 years ago.
Just about.
I'm in the same boat, though. Like,
Right.
this is the closest group I've had.
Right. And so my big thing is, like, I'll follow through with something that I want to do, because it's something, you know, I'm like, I'm here to live. I'm like, I want to do this. Let's do it. But then as soon as I don't get support in any way, I'm just like, all right, well, fuck you. I'm leaving. Like,
Yeah.
I won't accept help. I just don't want to deal with, like, people.
Dude.
Oh, you just like hit a personal note there, like not accepting help.
Me too.
From like 15 to literally like a year ago, not even a year ago, I'd say like beginning of this year, I absolutely refused to like accept help, and I wanted to do everything myself. And only now am I realizing fully that was like the biggest mistake, was closing myself off to options.
But then I make it worse, because I get pissed, because like I'll follow through. If there's something that I want to do, I'll set up a plan to get it done, especially if there's other people involved. I want to do it. I want to get it done. But then also kind of people have their own timelines where they start to make the timeline longer, and I'm like, well, wait, that's a long timeline. I don't want to wait that long. And it is tough, because then I start judging people. I start saying, like, dude, it's taking you this long to do this when I'm over here doing this, all within the same time that it should have taken you to do the first sentence of whatever you're doing.
Like a superiority complex.
Like it definitely is.
I struggled with that for a long time, and only recently,
I still struggle with
it was like, even recently, I catch myself like thinking like that. I'm just like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
And like, then you have to catch yourself and be like, well, I'm a fucking idiot too.
Yeah, I'm so self-aware of my thoughts like that. It's
That's good though, because like some people never become self-aware, like, which is very like,
that's
I
a
think
tragedy.
this
Lacking
podcast-
self-awareness is an absolute tragedy.
This podcast kind of holds me accountable, because like, in a way, like, I tell you guys about all like my failures and secrets and all this shit, and like, I can't come and tell you guys all this shit and then not try to change anything. But like Josh said something about earlier, like the excitement of a lot of things for me like wear off quickly. After the first 2 UFC classes, I was like, I don't want to go back. I'm done. And then I was like, because I wanted to be a fighter, and I did 2 classes, and I was like, I can't be a fighter.
I want to be a fighter. That's something I eventually
So
want to
like,
do.
I got to just keep going back, because I made this commitment. You know what I mean? And like once after, like, I skipped like one day, and I was like, damn, I feel kind of bad for skipping. You know? So like that kind of eats away at you. So like another thing that helped me like try to like execute shit is like having shit linger over your head. Like, it may not be directly there, but it's in your subconscious. Like, I didn't do my schoolwork today. Like, I'm slowing myself down. You know what I mean? Because, and you said something about, like, you would have had a better job by now. Like, I got a job at Coldwell Banker at 18 years old. Like, right when I turned 18. All I had to do was I had 2 months to get my license. And I could have did it, but I didn't, because I'm fucking stupid. And I went and worked at Netflix. And I was a background guy. And I was poor. So, you know.
I'd actually like to, with everything that we've said, make a correction to my actual biggest regret in life. And that was not getting
Pussy.
the entire the entire compendium of all the Bionicle sets.
I had 2 giant, like the spaceships. There was a yellow one, and then there was the big ass like red one. There was one tier above that, and I couldn't get that one. That one was just a little bit too much. I think that one was like $300, and I could only get the like 150 one, and like
There's got to be like $600 now.
yeah,
Dude, you know what I always think about? Like,
I still have those.
oh my gosh, dude.
He's like, yep, kept in mint
I
condition.
love that.
When I was a kid, man, like, I had like a whole thing of G.I. Joes, and I gave them to like this one kid, and like, I'm trying to find it. Like, I don't want to find the exact one, but I want to find like a replica, but I cannot find it. Because like, I just wanted like something from my childhood, because I kind of got rid of everything when I moved out of California.
I got rid of most of my childhood stuff too.
It's, I don't
It's
know.
I kind of sit there and I'm like, man, I should have just kept that for keepsake.
Yeah, but like, what am I going to do with it?
I don't know,
Keepsake-
like,
Yeah,
keepsakes
I
are
kept
nice.
too much stuff.
I'll go to my grandma's and like she'll just pull out a box and she's like, oh yeah, this is from my childhood. And you look at it, I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, dude, like triple
Yeah.
out like a wooden
I've
block.
got a memory box in my closet, and I just keep like little knickknacks that have like that are either attached to a memory or mean something significant to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a bunch of other stuff that I need to weed through.
I kept my first.
I was actually off topic, but this last week I was at my parents' house and they're clearing out like their entire middle room because this is the first time that they've had a chance to just like clean house in the past 5 years because they've just been taking care of my grandparents are living with them, and I moved away and they've just had so much going on. So I was with them and we found
Sorry, I put my shirt up and looking at my boobs.
every time.
This is why we don't record the podcast.
Dude, I want them to. The people need to see what happened.
But I ended up taking a couple of photo albums, and these are really cool because they're
I love
90% of the pictures in those photo albums were taken by me as a child. So it's like very much a personal view of my childhood. Because it's like, you give a kid a disposable camera, he's going to take a picture of the things that he thinks are cool. May not mean anything to anyone else, but he's just going to use that camera.
Yeah.
And so I have a couple photo albums that are just full of that.
See,
and
I wish I would have did that, dude.
memories. I don't
love
know.
photo albums, dude.
I've recently acquired like a newfound appreciation for memories and just the time that we spend on Earth.
I'm gonna pitch into that just because, like, I talk a lot about, you know, being treated not very well, but then I go back to things like that, like books, like photo albums or whatever, and just between the age of 1 to 6, I had a lot of good memories with both my parents, just traveling, like learning to fish, going to a zoo for the first time, just existing with my parents. Going back to those photo albums and seeing before they got divorced, just even though it's just a 6-year thing, and it really is. Because then, you know, I get kind of bitter just over time, thinking like, oh, everything sucks, everything's horrible, my whole life's been shit. But then you see those albums and you remember, like, nah, all of it wasn't that bad. There are redeemable factors to everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Always
And
a
I think
silver
that
lining.
that's just part of growing up.
Yeah.
That's is coming to terms with like those feelings and your past and how it affected you, because it did.
Right.
It's like everything seems like it seems so shitty when you're in it. Like when I was working at Chick-fil-A, I'm like, this is the worst fucking job I ever had in my life. And it was the only job
I would
I
work
ever
at
had in my
Chick-fil-A
life.
now.
I honestly
I would now, too.
Honestly, like looking back on it, I was like, dude, you know what? Like someone like the hardest I've ever laughed was working in the drive-thru of Chick-fil-A. Like someone like some of the greatest guys.
They're on it, man, because I hated it when I was there, but that was because of the management. And now that I'm working somewhere else, yeah, I'm getting paid more, but they had it together.
They did have
at
it
Chick-fil-A.
together. The management was
they are
fantastic.
very, just the systems they have in place to make sure everything runs
So
smoothly.
efficiently.
I appreciate that tenfold because now I work with a bunch of jackrabbits who have no idea what they're doing.
And everybody there, we all became like close, you know, because it was almost like no when you're in a class and like everybody in the class kind of becomes friends. Did that ever happen to you guys? Well,
Yeah.
that was like at work you come close with all your work friends and like
That's how 3 of us met.
That's
Yeah,
how,
and
I met
dude,
Jeremiah and Angelo. Chick-fil-A.
Sorry.
I still hang out. I still like. Remember Dylan Melton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he just opened up he's opening up his first like mechanic shop. So I'm still in touch with him.
Oh,
He's-
shit.
Yeah. So like, if you want to like, hit him up because he fixed my dad's truck and my little brother's truck. So plug to Dylan's Precision Diesel. on
He's a
Central.
diesel?
Yeah, he's a
engineer,
diesel
dude?
mechanic.
He's going to get paid
He's doing well. Like I
amounts.
talked to a few other people from Chick-fil-A.
Is he doing it professionally, or-
Yeah, he's got his own shop. He's the shit.
That's
computer
sweet,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Dylan was always like,
Getting a computer
Dylan, Kyle, like just those dudes always seem like they knew what they were doing.
Oh,
Like,
Kyle, yeah, I think he's like in Congress or some shit now. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
We're like,
Is he the senator that worked in a shoe?
dude, let's kill Kyle.
Dude, we're all
I'm
like,
just kidding. No,
what's the biggest failure in life? Dude, I stuck my dick in nacho cheese one time. And then, like, Kyle and Dylan over here, like, running the world.
I know.
Just like,
No, but like, I don't know. I wonder how Kyle is doing because I remember he went to Washington D.C. for like a internship or some shit.
But a bit of a perspective vortex to throw out there is, yeah, I'm super proud of these people who want to do things like that and run the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. I actually had a talk with one of the guys at my work today, and I basically told him, like, what does this like company do with all their money?
Mm-hmm.
It just gets allotted to
More comfort.
the top.
mm-hmm.
The top like 10% of the company owns
Well-
90% of the wealth, and
Even
like
when-
if I was there,
Mhm.
I told him if I was the CEO of the company that I work for, I would dismantle it from the top down.
Right.
And I would end the company.
Right.
Because
Well-
I just, I'm not interested in that.
I want to add something to that. Sorry. That sort of idea of like more money, more comfort, more just
water.
like sleep, basically. I never really got that because like
There's no water.
the only
anywhere around
reason
here.
I wanted
It's in
money
my room.
was to like do stuff. I always wanted to go to space. I always wanted to drive fast cars. I always wanted to shoot guns. I always wanted to go out in the wilderness and like wanted to plant things, wanted to like have fun with like kind of like Minecraft, just have that freedom to do whatever I wanted. But you need money to do that. And then you look at people with money and they don't do anything with it. It's just more money for more things or like more like comfort.
Today I bought a Bugatti that I'm not going to use in 4 weeks.
Right.
Like, cool. You did nothing.
Or even like a middle-aged dude who buys like a Corvette, but he has no idea how an engine works, has no idea how a car works. Like for myself, I want a car. I want like a nice car, but I want to build it from the ground up because that's much more personal connection to it. That's
Yeah.
But
I guess the thing is less mindless self-indulgence, and if you just dispose this idea of more is better, you just have a better time in life.
I
Yeah.
just but like I want to be rich, like filthy rich, so I can like spoil people. Like I have like this fantasy in my head. Like I've been watching Mr. Beast a lot because he like lives out my fantasies, bro. Like I was like thinking, like I would never want to like videotape any of this, but like I just want to like voice it, you know. Like I want to like for my own head, like surprise like all of my friends and family with new versions of their own car. So like you got like a Chevy Malibu, you got a F-150. I wasn't gonna buy you another truck because you don't like trucks anymore.
I hate trucks.
And I was just gonna buy everybody.
Don't do Pat.
I want a truck.
I would buy your truck. No, but
I'll buy a truck.
I was gonna say like I just want to like give people
I want the
houses.
rights.
I want to take care of people. You know what I
I
mean?
want the rights to the song Truck Yeah by Tim McGraw, so if you could buy that for me.
Dude, I'll buy Tim McGraw.
I also kind of feel that, but
I'll
it's,
fucking make him wear a Speedo and put a gag in his mouth and make him play guitar for me with a fucking chain like Pulp Fiction, dude.
that would you let me know when you do that because my like I'll invite my mom and she loves Tim McGraw. That'll
dude,
be her paying.
I don't want her.
like-
I don't want her to see him like this. This is like fucking like
She just walks in. I never seen no shit like this.
yeah, dude, like I want him to be sprawled out like with his fucking hands and feet, like, and he's just spinning like on like one of those fucking wheels, and then he's just like singing to the song, you know. And I got a little fucking midget with the small hands like playing guitar.
I also I relate to like wanting
got
to.
really weird, really fast,
Yeah,
and very oddly
Yeah,
specific.
I
I mean, that's
never
just what
thought
happens.
of Tim McGraw in my life, and like my mom loves Tim McGraw, and then just out of nowhere, it's like,
That's what
hey, you
happens.
guys want to gag Tim McGraw?
Dude, that's what happens when you talk to me for too long. You should see me when it's late at night.
Tim McGraw, if you want to come on our podcast, you're more than welcome.
You're more
to.
than welcome to.
I won't tie you up, but shit, if you start saying weird shit, bro, you might have to get gagged.
Sorry, I relate to like that idea of like wanting to give people things, especially like for you guys, just because for myself, I know like I'm in the same spot as you guys, so I know that things get like uncomfortable, and just having an extra level of comfort would be nice. But even for my parents, like I also understand that level of comfort, just even exacerbated to however long they've been alive. But then I feel bad because I want to like give them stuff, but then it's like almost for my own consciousness, just to like say sorry for all the messed up shit I've done, like lying. Like I just said, I was like lying is something I was very good at.
Oh, dude, I was a master.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know. I want to spoil my parents too because like I'm like sorry I tormented you for so long with failing school. Like there's like that's a lot of stress on your like parents. Like
Well,
like
just,
you know
yeah.
like
just love them. I don't think that catharsis should come through money. Just love them.
no, but it's just how I like want to give it back. You know, because I can never like I don't know. I just like physical shit. I'm really vain in that way. Like I want to have like cool stuff and like a lot of money just because like it makes me feel good, which isn't like it's never gonna satisfy me, which I know is the truth. Like so that's why like you know
I want you to
My religion-
tell me if that changes in the next 5 years that you're alive. So
well because like I'm a religious
Imagine
guy
I
and
go
I
to
like
one.
the only time I ever really feel like content is like when I'm like good with the Lord because I know He'll take care of me. But like you know like I struggle a lot with that shit, which is like the worst thing you can ever like struggle with.
Yeah.
Because like that's like an eternity. Like whether
Yeah.
you believe it or not, I believe it, and whether you choose to do so or not, that's up to you.
There
but,
have
like,
been times where I've tripped on like psychedelics with being in good standings with God and like family and just in general, and then there have been times where I've been in bad standings, and it's
Yeah.
like,
night and day.
oh yeah, it's not
So-
good.
well, to throw it out there, my dad's a pastor, so talk about failures. Where I am right now, I just feel completely inadequate compared
Yeah.
to him, and it's hard to express that. Like I'm not where you were at your age. I'm not like following necessarily in your footsteps. I'm trying to uphold the best morals that I can moving forward, but there have been a lot of shortcomings and a lot of things where like, oh, I didn't not necessarily I didn't live up to expectations, because bless my parents, they didn't set expectations for me. They said just be yourself, and they're totally fine with that. And I'm on good terms with my parents. Like I spent a lot of time with them, but personally for me, it's just it feels like such a failure to go back to them with so little.
And I feel bad because we all know that your dad's a pastor, and that's one of the we understand how, because even for ourselves, that's one reason why we're using Frank is just not to, it's just so in case this ever got to his dad, he maybe would not like
He
listen.
would understand.
That way,
Right,
you don't have
he
to
definitely
fucking-
would understand, and like
So, Dad, if you ever check this out,
That way, you don't have to.
I
Stab
know
yourself.
we've said a lot of things that
Yeah.
are a little bit off color, but please forgive me for that.
forgive me too,
But,
just
like-
because like we see how Frank wants to like not be a failure in that aspect, and yet for like me specifically, I'm kind of like a degenerate. Like I'm not.
Yeah. it's like-
So it's like for me, it's just I'm getting more and more filthy, and like I try to put that on you, and then
you try to be a bad influence.
yeah.
Frank is such a sweet guy. Like I was talking to him the other day.
Not on Xbox.
No, but actually it was on Xbox because I was saying like I want to sell my car, and he was like, "Why do you want to sell your car?" And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something, "Is that going to fulfill you?" Because like the excitement of a lot of things goes away. Like I try to keep my life exciting because I'm just like trying to fill a void of some sort. I don't know. I try to do a lot of self-reflection, but it always just ends up me thinking about the future, and it never really gets that deep. I don't got time to sit and think about what happened to me, bro. Fuck you talking about? I gotta go to work. I gotta do a podcast, bitch. I gotta make a skit, but I don't do any of those things really. So, waste a lot of time. What were you gonna say, Josh?
I was gonna say anything.
Oh shit, you look like you had some words coming out your lip, bro.
I think
I
we're
saw a
starting to
couple
reach the
Yeah,
dying
yeah.
point.
I think
Probably we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the best episode we've ever done.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I
say that after
I know, it's good, but like I feel bad because like I feel like with this company and like this podcast alone, like I feel like we could have gotten farther, but like that's like I take responsibility for that
Hey,
because like
Nah, dude.
Live and learn. I
Yeah.
mean, we're this is something we're new to. This is something that we just decided, hey, let's do this. And I don't think when
Right.
we started, we fully realized how much work and effort that actually takes to
Yeah.
get this off the ground.
because everybody thinks that they can just get on a podcast and be Joe Rogan. I'm like, dude. First of all, you're retarded.
It's hard. Have you heard our podcast?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
it's hard.
like we're funny guys, just individually with us by ourselves. But then when you get a mic or a camera involved, it's like there's a whole new set of obstacles you got to
Dude,
overcome.
it's a lot of pressure, and it's hard to just be yourself. Like, because there's like a mic, like the boom filter, like no one the filter,
The pop filter?
the pop filter. That's like in your soul, so you have to like say fuck that. I'm gonna say nasty shit. That's what I do.
If I can throw this out there, and I know the podcast is running a little long, that's something that I've struggled with since the first episode. I went back and listened to like our first couple episodes, and I was so reserved. Like, I was just minimal talking. I never brought up topics. I was just responding to everything, but it was all really shallow. Compared to the stuff we're talking about now, I feel like I finally got a grasp for it. Which is why, like, I don't hate those beginning episodes, but I'm so mad at myself for not just embracing it from the beginning.
Well, like, every tree's got to start as a blossom. You can't start getting fruit. Like, I feel like now we're starting to get, like, little semi-ripened fruit. But what are you going to say? I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
To say
finish it. I was just going to wrap it up.
No, because I was just going to say, like... Oh, I do have to say one more thing. Mm-hmm. I got to go back. I noticed a very strange correlation between veganism and global warming. These fucking retards are eating all the plants, dude. And now they're like, we have to plant more trees. I'm like, stop eating them fucking shit, you dumb bitch. You want to be fucking skinny and not eat pigs? Stop eating it.
Yo,
the world is hot, bitch. And you're going to fucking sit there and eat lettuce. Fuck you.
Time is a flat circle. You know what else is flat? The earth.
Also,
thank you for tuning into our podcast.
One last thing. Every time someone loses weight, someone else gains it. Don't be selfish. Stay fat.
Matter is not created or destroyed.
Yeah,
Angelo is right.
Look, dude, Josh. Okay, Josh was like 240, right? Now he's 170. When I first met him, I was 170. I'm 240. You fucking selfish motherfucker. You want to be skinny and get bitches? Now I'm fat. And
I just wanted to say that even though that we struggled in the beginning, I'm still super excited about this.
I'm
excited about bringing everybody that's listening to this.
And you, listener, if you've made it this far, thank you for your contribution.
This is the point where we say the N-word.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe.
I love you.
I love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to us in the very beginning. If you follow us to the end, I appreciate you, and we'll give you a fucking a hug or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can dial Angelo's personal phone number at 505-401